Okay, on that note, do you just make horror films, or are you going to be branching out to other genre of films, or are you all just kind of like the slasher films, or?
Well, basically, we're doing some slasher films. Which
are great.
That's what we started off. I think it's a fun thing to do. That's what a lot of people around Kentucky are doing, and we have good access to those types of actors. But me and Jason, Jason and myself, we always like comedy. So look for a little bit more comedic performance out of us in the next few films we do. I think we're going to slowly ease into it because right now I think we think we're funnier than other people think we are. We're working on making other people think we're funny. So we're kind of honing our skills while we do these great horror movies. But yeah, look for some comedy out of us in the future. We've got some pretty dynamic scripts that we're wanting to get out there and work on. And the one big film we have in the future is really going to pull a lot of the big landmarks in Louisville and Southern Indiana. We're going to get a lot of big things in there, and that's going to be a big undertaking. We got to get our name out there and get some of these people on board with us to get these things done. And but the horror films have been great for us. Jason, Arden, Dead Moon Rising, and that really kind of got us on the map out there to get us to do some of our own stuff. And that's always going to be the thing that really got Jason and myself out there in the public's eyes.
Right. And that was they also had comedy in it too. It wasn't just a zombie film. It had a lot of comedy in it, I thought.
Yeah. There's a lot of funny moments in Dead Moon Rising. I mean, he was well written in that aspect, and the character that played across from Jason Crow, Nick. I mean, that guy I thought was hilarious, and Mike Seeley.
Yeah.
He just kept me laughing, and I tell you what, anytime somebody mispronounces Louisville, that's just my favorite line from that movie. I'm always like, it's Louisville.
Yeah. We all do that, don't we?
That will always stick in my head.
I think anybody that's from Louisville does that, yeah. I know I do as well.
Oh, yeah. That to me is just my favorite line of that movie, and because it's true, and we all do it.
Yeah.
My family, most of them live in Boston, Massachusetts, so and we go up there, and of course, how's it going in Louisville up there?
Louis.
It's Louisville.
They even sell T-shirts to the fact for that, all the different pronunciations of Louisville.
Oh yeah. There's T-shirts, there's signs in downtown with all the different pronunciations and everything. But it's a trip, Being from here, it's a different place. Being here, there's a big mixture of everybody here, and we kind of fit in real well with each other.
So, TJ, tell me, how did you and Jason Crow end up starting Feathered Italian Films?
Well, me and Jason, we basically, kind of got into acting the same way, chasing girls, pretty much, I was a football player at PRP High School here, and when I realized that I wasn't going to go play college football, and there was a lot of, very attractive girls in the school play, I went and did the play. And the next year I went to JCC where Jason had followed his girlfriend, and she made him audition for a play, and that's where we met, and, the rest is history. We started out doing theater. So, basically the chasing girls led to something good for us.
That's a good thing. So was Hell House shot on film or digital? How do you feel about either one there? Do you prefer film or?
The original Hell House, we just use a little mini DV handheld $300 recorder, and you can see that it's not great quality, but for what we had, I think it looks very well. And we shot that in actually a tattoo shop, which was about maybe 800 square feet. So it's a small place, but we make it look very big, and we actually. We shot outside of the Culbertson Mansion. There's some outside shots.
I've been there.
Culbertson Mansion.
Yeah.
And
that's Indiana, right?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Culbertson Mansion. That's in Indiana, right?
Yeah, that's in Indiana.
Right.
Yeah, they said we could shoot some outside shots there, and we basically just freelance guerrilla filmmaking. We just basically went out on the sidewalk and filmed shots on the sidewalk. You'll see that we don't really get up in there grass or anything. We're just kind of outside, and the rest of the shots are filmed at Vlad's Vault of Horror tattoo shop here in Louisville.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice little place. He's got a little maze set up, and they do some things at Halloween, and he's got some real cool rooms. You'll see the scene with the tattooed lady is actually where they do their tattoo scenes. It's a nice, solid white rounded room. It's really good. The looks of that was, it was really dynamic. I thought that room just really, because everything's white, it stands out so much.
Nice. Well, I understand
next film, we're going to be filming this with Canon XL2s, and so that's a big step up from what we have used. We did use the Canon XL1s for the Legacy.
Okay.
And we're going to jump up to the Canon XL2s for this one. And
TJ, I was doing an interview with Michael Madsen and Mark Mahine a couple weeks ago, and I asked him this question, and I was kind of curious about what your take would be on this. How do you feel about the fact that the really good indie films are being ignored, meanwhile the crappy films are being picked up as major releases? What's your take on that?
Well, I just think people need to look more into these indie films. I mean, there's great, fantastic films out there that are. It takes them a while, but they're getting this good press. I mean, one of my favorite movies of all time is Napoleon Dynamite, and that movie was made for nothing, and that turned into this huge phenomenon. And from the first time I heard about that, I went and watched that movie before anybody had heard about it. Yeah. And just thought that was fantastic. I think they made that for $400,000. Wow. And they'll make millions and millions of dollars at that. And we're coming back to these older movies that were made, 20 years ago, the Halloween movies and Friday the 13th, and those weren't gigantic budget films. Exactly. They're going to have to come back to indie. Indie's going to be there, and I think that indie is the young kid on the block to me. Right. The young kid on the block, he's hungry, and that kid is going to bust his butt, and he's going to do whatever he has to do to be innovative, creative, and get out there and nip at your heels until he's discovered. And these blockbuster movies, just because they had $10 million in them, doesn't mean they're not crap. Right. A lot of them are, Right. These millions and millions of dollars, and there's these films out there. We might have spent $2,000 at the most making The Legacy. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to be a blockbuster hit, but we won't spend more than $2,000 or $3,000 making this film. We want the indie film people to know that you can make these films for little to no money, and you can get these actors like Al Snow and Alex Delmonico, Jim O'Rear, Larry Butler, Daniel Emery Taylor. They're going to come out. They're going to help you do these movies. Exactly. And it's not for the money. It's for the love of what's going on. You bring a script to them that they like, or role to them that they like. You ask them. You got to go out and ask. We found that a lot. You got to get out there and ask. Yeah, you got to network. And you can get that indie film done.
This is true. I think after the writer's strike, they really did turn to a lot of indie films looking for the next releases. But I myself think that the indie is definitely stepping back up to the plate.